Hello everyone. Thank you for coming to Mary's Little House. It was a busy house today with our monthly first Saturday observance, our gathering here as a Mother of God ministry with the ministers locally and from out of town. Right now, it's pretty quiet here. I want to thank you for coming to visit me on this Take 10 with Jim series. We're already with Take 10 with Jim 71. Many of you have been with us since it began, and it's so encouraging. I'm really amazed. I had consciously 3 subscriptions from young people, from teenagers, that want to subscribe to this this YouTube channel of Mary's Ministry. And some of their remarks are not only encouraging, but I see them searching for truth, and the truth of Jesus Christ, the Word of God. I want to talk to you tonight about something that was brought up today. When everybody's here, Peanut, who's now sleeping on my lap here, becomes very desperate, very agitated, and very clingy. And he snuzzles his nose against me or pokes his nose like a woodpecker on my leg. Then he scratches me with his little paws, desperate, like he needs something before or he'll just die. Well, I know the reason why, because there's so many people. His little routine is really very much disrupted. From a quiet house, he usually has so many feet, so many voices, so many people. And he comes to me. I seem to be his safety place, his harbor, his safe harbor. And he's desperate that I notice him, then I pick him up. Well, today he was really agitated and excited, and I practically had to hold him all day. I noticed one of the ministers noticing that, maybe a little, not exactly, wondering how I was doing, why I was doing it. And I explained to this minister that when I was going to a conference on an Indian reservation, I took along a religious brother. He was a brother. He's now deceased, and I loved him very much, and I even prayed to him. But he had a very difficult past. He was orphaned, or his parents weren't able to take care of him, really. He lived in an orphanage. He's had so much things to deal with, and as an adult it all showed in his face and in the way he responded to things. Well, we were working together on the reservation, and we went to this conference. I didn't think anything of it, and they gave me accommodations with someone else and in one of the buildings on the reservation, the church buildings. And all of a sudden someone came in, and somebody's coming at the door. All of a sudden someone came in and was full of agitation and everything. I thought some emergency happened. They said there's a brother out there who has just lost it, that he's doesn't know what he's doing, he's going crazy. And I went out and I found him. He was just totally discombobulated. And I brought him into my room, and I don't know who we bounced out of the other bed, but the person didn't come, but I took him in the room. I was hoping they wouldn't kick us out. But Brother David, he needed that security of my presence. He needed to know where he was going to sleep that night. Because everybody, after that, I guess, they said, well, just find a spot and throw your your knapsack down and rest. And that wasn't the way David could do it. He was unable to accept that disordered, that chaotic kind of situation, and he just lost it. When I saw him, he was so desperate. It just made me cry. And anyway, we got our room together, and he was okay for the rest of the conference. But something happened to me when I saw his eyes and how he was so desperate and so humiliated around those people who were trying to help him. I saw how little people are wounded, even creatures like Peanut, but how human beings are wounded. I was honored to be, for a month, to live in a community called the L'Arche, which is French for the Ark. It was founded by Jacques Vanier, Jean Vanier. He was a very prominent family. His father was Governor General of Canada. But he gave his life to the service of those persons with mental disabilities, whom we used to call retarded. That's an awful name. And he gave his life, and when he spoke about them, he would talk, talk about how wounded they were, how fearful they were. And I noticed on some of them how they seemed to frown. It's not because they were mean, like a frowning augur or something, but because they're afraid. They're afraid. And he says the only thing that can help them is to gain their confidence and to bring them peace is love, unconditional love. That really impressed me. And I lived in this community for a month. This community with people who didn't have that severe disabilities. They call them ordinary people, but I don't know who's ordinary around here. But anyway, they didn't. Now Peanut's got to go outside, so I have to rush to the end. My point is, when you see little people, try to make their world secure and loving. Try to help them when they are afraid, when they act out. Overcome their fear with love. What Jesus said, when you do it to the least of my brothers and sisters, you do it to me. God bless you now. Happy Lent.